My roommate took a fancy to my werewolf boyfriend and wanted me to introduce her to a werewolf too. I refused. It's better to fall in love with a normal person. She was convinced that I didn't want her to have a good life, and she held a grudge. So I secretly told my boyfriend. She doesn't like you and is afraid of getting pregnant with your child. She takes medicine every day. I was tortured to death by my boyfriend. When I opened my eyes again, I went back to when she asked me to introduce the werewolf. I smiled and said, "Werewolves have special preferences. Let me help you change it into something they like." Later, my boyfriend really abandoned me and went to my roommate. I turned around and left. Unable to hold it in any longer, I laughed. 1. Bai Qingqing's words rang in my ears, and I looked at her in disbelief. She frowned dissatisfied. "You shouldn't be reluctant to part with it, right? I don't want your boyfriend. I just want to meet other werewolves. I heard that they are very powerful, have many tricks, and are very rich." I came to my senses and touched my neck. So good, I was reborn. "Okay, I'll introduce it to you. But before that, let me help you transform it." She was stunned, and I smiled mysteriously. Werewolves all have their own preferences, which are different from ordinary men. You'll know then. Bai Qingqing's face was full of joy, and she held my arm affectionately. "Is Lin Yan the prettiest among them?" "I don't care. You have to find me someone better looking than Lin Yan." Lin Yan is my boyfriend. As I guessed, Bai Qingqing wanted Lin Yan to be like this. In my previous life, I kindly refused, but she held a grudge. Tell Lin Yan everything I did in the dormitory, until Lin Yan found out about me taking birth control pills. He took me out to the dormitory in the middle of the night and strangled me to death. In this life, since Bai Qingqing wants Lin Yan so much, of course I will help her. 2. I took Bai Qingqing to buy a lot of clothes. Most are pure white or pink. Her expression dropped visibly. "Are you lying to me? I don't think you usually wear these." "Zhang Yarong, we are friends. Please don't cheat me." I hurriedly opened the photo album, in which I was wearing different white and pink clothes. My Ion likes this, and I think other werewolves should also like it. If you don't want it, forget it. I tried to take my clothes back, but Bai Qingqing quickly snatched them away. "I want it. I bought it all." After buying clothes, I went to buy medicine to induce vomiting. "What is this for?" Bai Qingqing's face changed as she read the instructions for use. I nonchalantly packed up all the medicine. He likes to be thin and weak. Hesitation flashed across Bai Qingqing's face. At this time, Lin Yan called. "Baby, I will pick you up from downstairs of your dormitory tonight. I have already bought the bag you were interested in last time. The picture has been sent to your WeChat account. Let's see if it's the one you want." I opened it in front of Bai Qingqing. Bags worth tens of thousands, including bags with logos. "Yes, thank you, dear." I hurriedly replied to his WeChat message and sent him another emoticon. Bai Qingqing came to her senses. Not only did he ask for all the medicine in the basket, but he also went to other pharmacies to buy more. 3. When Bai Qingqing and I went back, Lin Yan was already downstairs in the dormitory. He is tall, wearing an expensive windbreaker, and has perverse brown hair. It is difficult not to attract attention. After seeing me, he strode up to me, reached out, and took me into his arms. When he turned his head, he whispered in my ear, "Why aren't you wearing the clothes I gave you?" Rong is always disobedient. It sounded like a couple murmuring, but it made me sweat on my back. He hurriedly explained, "I didn't have time to go back to the dormitory to change, so of course I have to wash the clothes you gave me and wear them." He kissed my ear and said, "Be good, I'll wait for you." I took the crazy Bai Qingqing and left quickly. I was busy taking a shower, putting on makeup, and changing clothes. Bai Qingqing held her chin up and looked at the scenery downstairs, speaking from time to time. "You said, are all werewolves like Lin Yan?" "He is so kind to you. I just saw it and brought the bag he bought for you. It's rare for a man to wait for a woman for so long now. He doesn't look anxious at all." Several girls just asked him for their contact information, but he rejected them all. I dressed up exactly how Lin Yan liked it. Before leaving, I looked at Bai Qingqing with a smile. "You're not the person involved, and you don't know what kind of life I live. Really want to find a boyfriend like him? Do you want to give him to you?" 4. She was stunned for a moment. The light in her eyes brightened and then disappeared. "Forget it for him. Let the others do it." After saying that, he hurriedly took a drink from the cup on the table. I saw it in my eyes, curled my lips, and left. Lin Yan took me back to his house, and the electronic scale was placed at the door. He glanced at it, his eyes full of intimidation. I took off all the jewelry I could take off, but it was still a pound or two heavier. "I've been paying attention recently." He smiled and came closer to me, holding me up with one hand. His lips were close to my ear, and he whispered, "I know you work hard, but can you be more attentive? Did you eat some bread yesterday morning? The calories are too high, so let's not eat it, okay?" I flinched and looked over in disbelief. He is indeed spying on me. Lin Yan still smiled softly, and I nodded unconsciously. "Okay, I won't eat." His lips connected, and he pulled my body closer. "Be good, but there will still be punishment today." I shuddered and pursed my lips, not daring to speak. Bai Qingqing was right. Lin Yan had very good physical strength, so good that he was tireless. The butler has already brought the clothes, pure white feather style. Lin Yan likes this kind of thing recently. He hooked up his long fingers and waved at me. I obediently stepped forward, took off my clothes, and let him put them on me. 5. I didn't fall asleep until early in the morning. His body was covered with bruises and bruises. It hurt at first, but now I'm used to it. At 8 o'clock in the morning, I opened the door to the dormitory, and Bai Qingqing's head immediately popped out from behind the curtain. Her eyes fell on my neck, and there was a flash of jealousy in her eyes. But he soon changed to smile. "You're back? If this continues, what will you do if you get pregnant?" I twitched my lips and said, "It doesn't matter. He will marry me if I get pregnant." "But you're still in school?" I raised my eyes to look at her and smiled meaningfully. Bai Qingqing immediately explained, "I don't have any other intention. I just think academics should be the most important thing." She said the same thing in her previous life. So I treated her as someone I could trust and told her that I was taking birth control pills. If you eat at the same time every day, it is basically impossible to get pregnant. But that night, Lin Yan broke into our dormitory, pinched my neck, and took me away. "You hate me so much? You won't even give me a child?" "Niarong, you are so ignorant." In the woods, with his eyes glowing, he grabbed my neck and pressed me against the tree. If I had to do it again, I wouldn't be fooled again. That's what I said, but if I can marry Lin Yan, he can directly send me to study abroad. And no matter how hard I try, I can't earn the wealth he can give me. By the way, I brought gifts for you all. After saying that, I took out a gift box from my bag, a light luxury bracelet for each person. Bai Qingqing stared so hard that her eyes almost popped out, and she looked over and over in disbelief. "Isn't this one worth tens of thousands?" "What's the matter? Ayan has always been generous to me, unlike other werewolves." "What happened to the others?" she asked subconsciously, and I was a little embarrassed. 6. But under Bai Qingqing's urging, I still spoke. Actually, Ayan is the richer type among the werewolves. Their family has been passed down for a long time and has accumulated a lot of wealth. He is also the young patriarch, so he is generous if he has more money. But they're actually poor werewolves, just like humans. Bai Qingqing's expression changed. "Then, what do you want to introduce to me?" I hurriedly said, "Of course he's from Ayan's family. He's his cousin." After saying that, I took the photo and showed it to her. Bai Qingqing looked at it for a while, smiled, and said it was pretty good. But I know she didn't like it. Although Lin Yan's cousin is also good looking, he is more of a puppy type and not as wild and uninhibited as Lin Yan. "Well, I'll leave first." Bai Qingqing's cell phone rang. She glanced at it and left quickly. Seeing that it was almost time for class, I grabbed some bread and went to the classroom. There are still 5 minutes until class starts. Just as the bread was torn open, I suddenly paused. I almost forgot. Lin Yan wouldn't let me eat bread. I glanced at the people in the classroom, not knowing who was his spy. After thinking about it, I put away the bread and drank only water. At this time, a message from Lin Yan came on the phone. "The baby is so good." I instantly felt a chill on my back, shaking my hands and sent him an emoticon. But I'm too hungry if I don't have breakfast. Until the smell came from next door, which made me look over subconsciously. All I can see is the soft cake, which smells very sweet. You want to eat?" The other person was embarrassed by my stare and asked politely. I licked my lips and shook my head. Lin Yan's punishment was so horrific that I was still sore and didn't dare to eat. But in a blink of an eye, I rolled my eyes and fainted. 7. I woke up again in the school infirmary. Why do young people today always get meals? How can they bear it? The same goes for you. You eat it yourself, but you don't want to give it to your girlfriend. My temporary desk mate was scolded by the doctor and threw the cake into the trash can with a red face. When he saw me waking up, his eyes lit up. "Are you okay? I bought you porridge." "I smell it. It is the aroma of lean meat porridge." My stomach rumbled unsatisfactorily, and I struggled to get up. But at this moment, Lin Yan's voice suddenly came. "She doesn't like those." I froze and looked over subconsciously. Lin Yan stepped in front of me and helped me up. Under his eyes, I stiffened my neck and nodded, smiling apologetically at my classmates. "Yes, I don't like eating those. Thank you, my boyfriend is here." The classmate was stunned for a moment, then hurriedly took the porridge and stood up. "Oh, okay, I'll leave first." Until he left, the room still exuded the enticing aroma of carbonated water. Lin Yan helped me back to bed and brought me salad and juice. "You are not allowed to skip meals from now on." I paused, feeling very depressed, but then I saw Bai Qingqing coming too. It was obvious that she had dressed up carefully. "Niarong, I heard that you fainted. Are you okay?" The words were spoken to me, but his eyes seemed to be fixed on Lin Yan. It's a pity that Lin Yan didn't even look at her. All his eyes were occupied by me. Until Bai Qingqing accidentally touched him, his face darkened, and he was about to get angry. But he caught a glimpse of bright pink flashing across his eyes. Bai Qingqing was already sitting on the edge of the bed, right in front of Lin Yan, blocking his view of me. 8. If it were normal, Lin Yan would have opened her up long ago. But this time, he made no move. Until Bai Qingqing finished caring about my body, stood up and left. Her hand accidentally brushed against Lin Yan's shoulder, but the other party remained calm and did not speak. "I'm going to buy you something to eat." Not long after Bai Qingqing left, Lin Yan went out. I lowered my head to play with my phone and said yes. That night, Bai Qingqing didn't eat dinner and only drank water. The other roommates couldn't stand it and gave her bread. But she firmly refused. "I won't eat anymore. I want to lose weight." After saying that, he went to lie down on the bed. In the middle of the night, I was woken up by the sound of vomiting. By the moonlight, I saw Bai Qingqing lying on the sink on the balcony. After the sound of water came, she walked to her position holding onto the wall. On the table was the bread that she couldn't help but take 2 bites of, and the opened emetic medicine. I quietly closed the bed curtains and thought of myself a year ago. At that time, I was about to take the college entrance examination, but my parents were divorced and no one was willing to pay for my living expenses. My dad asked me to find my mom, and my mom asked me to find my dad. Hungry, I walked to my grandma's house in the countryside and met Lin Yan at the foot of the mountain. He is good looking, with brown hair and deep eyes. As I passed him, I fainted. When he woke up again, he was at his house, with salad and beef in front of him. Be my girlfriend and you can eat it. I suppressed my hunger and thirst and shook my head. I can't fall in love prematurely and still study. There was a sneer, and he lifted my chin, looking very satisfied. Very good, I like it. Then wait until you graduate, and then be my girlfriend. I agreed. Because Lin Yan is good looking, and also because I am really hungry. At that time, I had no idea what kind of abyss I was getting into. But fortunately, he has a new prey, and I should be able to come out soon. 9. Bai Qingqing's dressing style has completely changed. She bought various bunny ear hairpins, headbands, and headbands. I also bought various pure white or pink skirts. Without my urging, she began to consciously eat low-calorie foods and never had dinner. Milk tea and hot pot are even more popular. Her roommates marveled at her transformation and praised her for her perseverance. I saw it in my eyes and found that when Lin Yan came to pick me up, his eyes were focused more and more on Bai Qingqing. Until that day, Bai Qingqing's ecstatic voice woke me up. 80 pounds, I've really lost weight to 80 pounds. I irritably lifted the quilt and looked over. Her ecstatic eyes turned into pride and joy when she touched me. I heard that you have gained weight recently. You can't even control your weight. No wonder Lin Yan gives you fewer and fewer gifts. I pursed my lips and lowered my eyes, showing just the right amount of sadness. She took a photo of her weight and picked up her phone to chat. I glanced at it and saw the other person's chat avatar, which was a lush green. It was almost certain that the person opposite was Lin Yan. I lay back on the bed, hoping that Bai Qingqing would work harder and ask Lin Yan to cancel my date with him tonight. She's right, I've gained weight again recently. I am 165 centimeters tall and weigh no more than 90 pounds, which is what Lin Yan wants from me. But I am now 91 pounds. I can't imagine what kind of punishment I will face if I win tonight. But the ringtone of the mobile phone came at this time. When I saw the name jumping above it, my heart sank. 10. I'm downstairs. Has the baby gotten up? Yeah, right away. I didn't dare to lie and got up from the bed in a hurry. As soon as she got out of bed, she met Bai Qingqing's angry eyes. Hey, let's go on a date again. She said something sinister, and I nodded. Yes, Ian insisted on picking me up to go to the concert. After that, I went to wash up and change clothes. After dressing up beyond recognition, he hurriedly took his bag and went downstairs. Unexpectedly, Bai Qingqing came down earlier than me. She just finished chatting with Lin Yan and looked at me meaningfully. Have a nice date. I threw myself into Lin Yan's arms and nodded sweetly. Bai Qingqing's expression twitched, and she stamped her feet before leaving. Looking at her back, I thought, you have to be more confident. But as soon as the car left the school, Lin Yan suddenly braked. He looked sideways and pinched my neck violently. The air was cut off in an instant, and the fear of a past life rushed into my face. Within a moment, Lin Yan let go. He smiled evilly. I heard that you want to introduce a werewolf boyfriend to your roommate. Do you want to introduce me? There was a thump in my heart, and I quickly calmed down, my eyes red. She insisted on my introduction. I showed her the photo of one of your younger brothers last time, but she didn't like it. I pulled out WeChat, and there were indeed photos in the chat history between Bai Qingqing and I. Lin Yan only glanced at it and sneered. Do you still have the heart to look at other men when you're by my side? I approached him in a flattering manner and said aggrievedly, aren't you just trying to get to know someone? Don't you want to be with me for a long time? He looked at me deeply before returning to his seat. I don't know if he believed it, but I was safe for the time being. But when I arrived at his house, I couldn't stop shaking. I'm not going to be weighed today, okay? Just give me a hug, and you'll know if I'm heavy or not. I thought about how the feel of the hand was accurate, but Lin Yan just smiled and leaned into my ear. Baby, do you believe that my hand is more accurate than the scale? You are heavier and 1 pound heavier. I shivered, and all the hairs on my body stood up. Lin Yan's hands wandered around my waist, and he suddenly pulled me into his arms. Why are you so disobedient? Sighing came, and my forehead was soaked in sweat. Be good, get on the scale. I closed my eyes and stretched out my feet when his cell phone suddenly rang. 11. Lin Yan glanced at me and picked it up with one hand. Ian, help me. Being close, I heard Bai Qingqing's voice coming from inside. Lin Yan hung up the phone impatiently. But when he clicked on the picture on WeChat, he was stunned for a moment. The picture is a photo of Bai Qingqing alone in the woods. That is a mountain not far from our school, and some students often go hiking. Bai Qingqing was covered in sweat, wearing a pink short skirt, and her hair was stuck to her forehead with sweat. She looked very embarrassed. But the embarrassment was at the forefront of Lin Yan's mind. I'm lost. She sent a text to Lin Yan. The other party's slender fingers clicked on the photo, and across it was another photo from another angle. She fell to the ground, her calf bleeding. The fair skin made the blood look red. Lin Yan tugged on his tie irritably, and I quickly looked away. Holding back the ecstasy in my heart, I spoke blankly. Is something wrong? He took a step forward and wrapped me in his arms. What? You want me to leave? I avoided his breath. No, but few people come to see you, and I'm afraid of delaying your affairs. I can wait here for you to come back. After saying that, I closed my eyes and waited anxiously. Wait for me. Lin Yan patted my face and disappeared in an instant. I was not surprised by his speed and just closed the door silently, kicked the scale, and waited on the sofa. Bai Qingqing's message was sent to my mobile phone at this time. I'm injured. Do you mind if I borrow your boyfriend? I heard that werewolves are very fast. I wonder how long she will make me wait? 12. Obviously, Bai Qingqing did not wait long. She took a photo of Lan Yan holding her calf and couldn't wait to send it to me. I have a crush on your boyfriend. Do you mind? I still didn't reply to her. After all, Lan Yan would be angry if he acted too happy. I can't bear the consequences of his anger. More than a year ago, on the night after I finished my college entrance examination, he came to find me and abducted me into the woods. Can't wait to press on. I got angry and slapped him. But I regretted it just after the beating because the way he looked at me, I had no doubt that he would eat me. So I immediately apologized. I'm sorry, I just didn't get used to it. He licked his lips and said, then you get used to it now. He kissed me, cruelly, and without regard for my feelings. My whole body felt like it was being torn apart, and I finally fainted. I woke up in the hospital with multiple fractures all over my body. Stayed in bed all summer vacation. I didn't know you were so fragile, but I love it. What he said made me want to yell, but I didn't dare. He bought a bunch of luxuries for me. Anything I take a second look at will appear in front of me the next day. But he doesn't like me to eat high-energy foods. Even if I'm sick, I can only eat vegetables. Girls who eat grass are cuter. The clothes he bought me were all cute, and he forced me to wear them, then stared at me fiercely. I really want to tear it apart. After I recovered from my illness, he tore one piece after another into pieces. 13. Lan Yan didn't come back all night. At dawn, Bai Qingqing sent me some pieces of clothes lying on the ground. I tore it apart. He was really strong. Paired with a shy expression, the stone in my heart fell to the ground. When I was about to laugh, the door was pushed open and I immediately put it away. Lan Yan stared at me with complicated eyes. I tried to recall all the sad things and finally squeezed out tears. Where have you been? His lip is still broken and his hair is messy. One can imagine how intense the battle last night was. Before he could answer, I held the phone up to him with tears in my eyes. Lan Yan's pupils shrank. I will make it up to you. I lowered my eyes in disappointment. Let's break up. After saying that, I pushed him away, turned around, and ran away. He didn't come after me. I breathed a sigh of relief. Facing the early morning sun, I finally couldn't help laughing. Immediately afterwards, a transfer of 10 million came from Lan Yan on my mobile phone. Okay, I promise you. I couldn't hold it back anymore and shed tears of happiness. Lan Yan is domineering and Yandra, but he also absolutely does what he says. Once we break up, he will never find me again. I immediately found a restaurant and ate a lot. I ate until I vomited, but I was still so happy. 14. Have you read all the messages I sent you? Bai Qingqing also looked very happy. I glanced at her and said, congratulations, you got what you wanted. Are you really willing to give it up? I gave her a sympathetic look and went back to bed. She had no idea how nervous I was last night. I was afraid that Lan Yan would come back suddenly and nothing would happen to her, and she would continue to look for me. Very good, Bai Qingqing has some tricks up her sleeve. My request to change dormitories was quickly approved because Bai Qingqing is very high profile. Everyone knows she stole my boyfriend. The instructor didn't want to cause an accident. I threw away all the childish clothes in my closet and stopped dieting. My classmates thought I was heartbroken and overeating. It's just me, hiding under the quilt at night and still laughing. But the sense of crisis soon came. One day when I was eating in a restaurant, I saw Lan Yan appearing behind the glass window. He looked at me quietly with sad eyes. My hands shook subconsciously and the things fell on the table. I wiped my mouth in a panic and left. But Lan Yan caught up with him. I feel like you were very happy after breaking up with me. I wanted to shake my head, but suddenly I burped, so I covered my mouth. You like someone else. What can I do? You can't just die. He tilted his head and looked at me. If you die, I will not abandon you. I think he's mentally ill. But I dare not scold him. So he said in a good voice, I want to live. Sorry, I can't die at all. He didn't catch up again, but I already had a psychological shadow. So, when I learned that I could apply to study abroad, I submitted the application form as soon as possible. On the day the quota came out, I met Bai Qingqing. In other words, it was Bai Qingqing who came to see me. 15. She rubbed her belly with her hand and looked proud. I am pregnant. I stared at her belly with wide eyes, and then at her legs, which were as thin as a stick. Congratulations. The words I spoke turned around, and I planned to continue to respect her choice. Bai Qingqing stretched out her hand to block my way. I hope you can be wise and stay away from Ian. A qualified predecessor should be as good as dead. I was stunned. I haven't looked for him. I know you haven't looked for him, but he still has your photo in his house. I'm here to remind you. No need to remind me, Oops. Before I finished speaking, she suddenly took a few steps back and fell into Lan Yan's arms. What a clumsy means. I just told her I was pregnant, and she suddenly came to push me. Ian, she wants to harm me. Bai Qingqing was about to cry, and Lan Yan frowned and stared at me. I pointed to the surveillance camera not far away. There are surveillance cameras everywhere in the school. I advise you to tell the truth. And I'm leaving soon, so I won't bother you. Are you leaving? Lan Yan dragged me, and Bai Qingqing's face turned dark. Where are you going? Don't forget you. In the middle of his words, he paused. It seems that I just remembered that he and I have nothing to do with each other for a long time. Bai Qingqing suddenly held her stomach. It hurts, Ayan. She huddled in Lin Yan's arms. The other person looked down and hurriedly took her away. At night, Lin Yan kidnapped me again. It's a shame that our power is so disparate that I have no chance of resisting. 16. Have you wanted to leave me for a long time? The moonlight was dim, and he came closer. A familiar breath came to my ears. I shuddered subconsciously. What's the point of saying this now? Lin Yan, I weigh 110 pounds now. Far beyond his acceptable standards, and my dressing style has long since changed. I like black and gray, not white and pink. My hair is cut short, and my earrings are pearls. I eat rice buns with rice noodles and don't like vegetables. It became the opposite of what he liked. But Lin Yan lifted my chin and looked at me carefully. Yes, but I find that you are pretty good like this. The slight curve of the corner of his mouth and the deep interest in his eyes made me panic. I didn't know if he was joking or serious, so I didn't say anything for a while. Lin Yan suddenly let go and looked at me with a smile. We werewolves can only have one partner at a time, and you must know that. If you don't want to have a baby, then let Bai Qingqing give birth to you. I'll come find you after the baby is finished. My legs were weak, and I leaned against the tree trunk tightly to prevent myself from sitting down. He wrapped his arms around my waist and pressed his lips to my ear. I know you've seen it, so don't be afraid. I won't let you die. I can't bear to do it. After saying that, there was a strong wind in my ears. When I opened my eyes again, I was already downstairs at the dormitory. Lin Yan left. Bai Qingqing, who was not far away, stared at me fiercely. She quickly stepped forward, raised her hand, and was about to slap her down, but I held her wrist. Wake up. I'm going abroad soon. She was stunned, but still didn't believe it. But fortunately, she is weak and is no match for me. I only used 50% of my strength, but she could move. 1 week. You just need to hold him for a week and wait for me to go out. Her eyes widened suddenly, and she couldn't believe it. I sneered. If I really care about him so little, do you think you can get it? 17. Bai Qingqing believed what I said. She took a week off and was told that she was hospitalized. Lin Yan didn't have time to come see me. I went through the formalities immediately and contacted teachers abroad. Until I got on the plane to go abroad, I still felt uneasy. I remember Lin Yan said that people like them are more dependent on the environment and find it difficult to go abroad. I hope I will never see him again. By the time I got off the plane, there were a dozen missed calls on my phone. There are those from Bai Qingqing and those from Lin Yan. As soon as I turned off the phone screen, the ringtone came from the phone. Baby, you are disobedient. Lin Yan's voice was low, and he sounded angry. I took a deep breath. I cannot accept a betrayed partner. We humans are different from you werewolves. Ha, betrayal? Didn't you deliberately help her reform? How can someone meet all my preferences? My heart skipped a beat, and I took a deep breath. Yeah, I'm tired of you. Since Bai Qingqing likes her, of course I will help her. Yeah. Lin Yan laughed, and then Bai Qingqing's weak voice came from the phone. Zhang Yarong, I was wrong. I will return Lin Yan to you. Can you come back soon? He's just a lunatic. Just a lunatic. There was fear in her voice. I don't know what Lin Yan did to her, but I don't want to go back with the happiness I have gained. Lin Yan, she is pregnant with your child. Haven't you always wanted your own bloodline? After killing so many girls, someone finally got pregnant willingly. Why did you do this to her? Lin Yan was right. I saw everything in the secret room of his house. 18. That was half a year ago. He held me and slid his hand to my abdomen. Give me a child, and I won't let anything happen to you. I don't know why, but I have an intuition that there is something in his words. But I was just in college, and I didn't want to get pregnant and have a baby so soon. But no one can change what Lin Yan decided. I had been taking short-acting birth control pills for a while when he started going without birth control. Until that day, I accidentally opened the secret room of his house and saw the records on the wall. Pregnancy for a werewolf's human partner is extremely demanding. Not only are there strict requirements for height and weight, but it is also difficult to give birth after pregnancy. Most of the time, it's 1 corpse and 2 lives. Before me, Lin Yan had 3 partners, but none of them succeeded in giving birth to children. As the young master of the werewolf clan, he has the mission of continuing the family lineage. Therefore, he has been looking for a suitable 4th person. I am his 4th person. On that wall was a photo of the first time he met me, and underneath was my information. Zhang Yarong, 18 years old. Her parents are divorced. Height, weight, and uterus are both of the best quality. That encounter was intentional on his part. Even the time and place for each relationship were prepared by him in advance. Strict weight requirements are also in preparation for pregnancy. From then on, I tried to find a way to escape while secretly taking birth control. But I didn't expect that Bai Qingqing would fall in love with Lin Yan. In my previous life, I kindly tried to persuade her to give up her thoughts, but she thought I did it on purpose and tricked her into telling Lin Yan the truth after I took birth control. I was killed by Lin Yan. 19. Aren't you afraid that she will die? Lin Yan's sinister voice came from my ears. A cold sweat broke out on my back, and I subconsciously looked back. Fortunately, it was just the sound on the phone. I closed my eyes and breathed a sigh of relief. If she dies, you won't survive. Oh, you are really good. There was a sound of gritted teeth, and he hung up the phone. Lin Yan didn't know that I had checked a lot of information over the past year. I read not only the contents of his secret room, but also the ancient unique books. A werewolf can only have 1 partner at a time. At the same time, if the partner is pregnant, he cannot attack the other partner. Once his partner dies in his hands, he will also suffer divine punishment and die an untimely death. Lin Yan is a werewolf who has lived for decades and is also a young master. He knows these taboos better than I do. Later, he never looked for me again. My life abroad was relaxed and comfortable, and 2 years passed quickly. But I didn't want to go back to China and continue studying for a master's degree abroad. It wasn't until 3 years later that I saw Bai Qingqing abroad. She was thinner than 3 years ago and looked weaker, as if a gust of wind could blow her down. I gave birth and successfully gave birth to Lin Yan's child. She had a proud smile on her face. But there was only skin left on his face, and when he smiled, he looked ferocious and weird. Zhang Miarom, I beat you. I was stunned for a moment and said calmly, Congratulations. She suddenly became excited. But why am I so uncomfortable? What are you showing off? You know everything, right? Lin Yan doesn't love me at all. He knows everything. He knows that you don't want to have children, and he doesn't want you to suffer, so he uses his plan. But the only thing he didn't expect was that you dared to escape.
20!
My hands tightened suddenly. I just feel disgusted by Lin Yan's so-called care and love. He didn't care about my life or death when he was tormenting me. He strictly controlled my diet and monitored my every move. It all terrifies me. He was like a hunter, hanging a gun above my head, ready to shoot at any time. I just want to escape without any love. He's had a lot of stand-ins for you over the years, and he likes the shapely ones now. It's ridiculous. I can't eat anymore. My body is completely worn down by you. She stood up suddenly and glared at me fiercely. I remembered my previous life, when she was awake, when she was taken away by Lin Yan. I asked her for help, but she sneered. 你眼你看到了，她是拍你的. She doesn't love you at all, and there's no way she could have a child with you. These words aroused Lin Yan's anger and made him lose his mind. In this life, everything is her choice and has nothing to do with me. Bai Qingqing's mood has calmed down. Come back with me. At least go back and see him. He said he would forgive you and pretend it never happened. He loves you so much. You shouldn't be like this. Bai Qingqing actually became Lin Yan's lobbyist, which was simply ridiculous. I won't go back. Although after Lin Yan's offspring were born, many of his abilities were not as good as before. But I still don't want to have any contact with him. Bai Qingqing suddenly knelt down. 21. Please, he won't let me see the child until you go back. Zhang Miarom, I just want to see my child. I turned around and left. She can't catch up with me. Later, Bai Qingqing came to see me several times. I simply took a leave of absence and traveled for a while. The next news about her was her death. She died beside Lin Yan. She sent me a text message before she died. Zhang Miarom, I am different from you, I love him. Even if he doesn't like me, I can do everything for him. Our child will be the next leader of the werewolves, I am satisfied. I deleted the text message. Busy life soon made me forget about it. Until 10 years later, I suddenly had a dream. In the dream, Lin Yan came to me to say goodbye. His eyes were red. I understand. This is retribution. This is retribution for killing you in my previous life, Miarom. I not only killed you, but also our children. I sat up suddenly, sweating on my back. It was only after I came out of the shower that I saw an accident in China on my phone. Lin Yan's photo appeared on the screen. It turns out he is really dead. I can finally feel relieved. As for me and his kids, I thought about the time in my previous life when Lin Yan suddenly picked me up at his house and stayed with me the whole day, leaving me no chance to take medicine. Maybe we did have children, but that was also a matter of the past life. In this life, I will have a better life. Over.